representation.
Tonight on Cutting Edge, we look at 2 stories of babies who allegedly died whilst at daycare.
Umntana akaphenduli and isandla somntana santhinta la besifreezer besibanda iface yomntana bechange ebrown ngaqala ngathi umntana ilihlo.
Ke nyaka tseba gore go tla jwang gore SABC1 e tle intšie publish from TV1 2 3 4 ka moka di channel gore ngwana khwetsi mo go diaga so e sa tshwe ke ra di result
mix le monya kretse go seng ge ke moisa kwa go tsenela matsogo a gage le yena wa dumela gore ngwana tlile a le right ngwana go ba sna bothata
le lona bele isa le under investigation 20 years ge nka tlhokofala after 10 years ora re ke to tlhokofala ka pele ya bohloko ke sa tsebe ntho ile go ya ja ngwanaka.
Daycare or nurseries are places where children are taken care of during the day when their parents go to work. But daycares have become an agony to some parents. We visited Thamsanqa and her husband Methuli Dube in Deep Sloot, where their child died in crash. Thamsanqa blames the daycare for the death of their 4-month-old son. The baby had been attending the crash 3 days before his passing.
Ungamhambisa umntana, which means we're going Wednesday ekseni ngavuka nomntana la ekseni ngavuka prepare lo firstborn ubaba ke wahamba naye esikolo and then mina ngasala ngaprepare lo mncane ngamchange ngamenzela yonke into amenzela lo bisi umntana ngamhambisa ecrash umntana ubengalalanga ngafika ecrash ekseni ngabo past 7 ngaba ngehlisa umntana abanikeza and umntana ubengalalanga ngamtshela ngathi njengoba umntana udla izandla for sure ukuthi ulambile so bengicela ukuthi wena manguthi uyabekhala usumnikeza ubisi indlenzile umnikeza ubisi ngaphuma ngemsebenzini umntana right ngasayina yonke into nje umntana amchair right angakhale nganzini ngambe emsebenzini beku Wednesday tema ngafika emsebenzini ngasebenza ngachayisa upast 3 ngabuya so mambuya ngahlala ngadrop ngathatha lo mntana efirstborn isikolo ngasa ngabuya ngachiya amabheki ngayithatha umntana lapha ecrash.
She noticed that something was wrong when they handed her the baby.
Tema mfike ecrash wathi ngimisayina ngasayina manqeda lapha na bebe sikhona kimi in fact ngama isikhathi like for 5 minutes ndeke ngidle nginalo ifirstborn yapha masloke simile bathi mama upopoy mesti bathi basamchange lapha e-changing room so mangiloke mile laba baloke abanye badlula abanye bomember bathi khona bathi usamchange okay lo myusisa besitaza umntana kuba amchange but ulela ka shift kathini so nakima kufika ukuthi ngabe there's something umntwana ngazithulela ngama ngiloke ngimile isikhathi and futhi in fact sengisayinele ngoba bathi ngisayina uthi after isikhathi nyana lo mntana amsesithi khona hambe echeka lapha eroomini bathi basa change umntana uthi mafike bambisa valet bana nosisi uphethe umntana amfakela umntana kana thawulo akane nix ngapho bamba ibheki tefika ibheki umntana phezulu kwelapha etafula engikhwela umntana mangibamba umntana ngiyambiza umntana ngithi boy njanga everyday man collect umntana akaphenduli and isandla somntana santhinta la besifreezer besibanda iface yomntana bechange ebrown ngaqala ngathi umntana ilihlo.
Ngabo 3 ngisemsebenzini mina ngabona icall yangena mangi answer umama kaNkosikazi uthi khona gijima uze ngapha elokishini masija ngithi what happened akangitshela ukuthi kwenzakeni but ngahle ngayethuka because the way wayifona ngakhona wayikhaya naye ethukile strange yabona so ngagijima straight from there ngageza ngabuya khona la ngathola ukuthi crash lapho kunomntwana khona kunama ambulance lama bathi nama paramedic from 4 ways. Then mangena lapho ngithola unkosikazi uyakhala.
Thamsanqa says her mother stays near the creche but was surprised why they didn't call her.
Imistake yenzakala ema-creche but not leya. Befisa ukuthi kube ngani bafika bathi bebona there's something enjani. Umama masumntwana umuntu omdala bambiza bathi gogo umntana samtholi kahle. Mayisenze kanjani? Manje ba prefer ukuthi ingcono sibeke.
Thamsanqa believes the caretakers were very negligent.
Ngazabamfonela. Ngafika mina ngazibonela umntana by mina myself ukuthi umntana make correct. Okay ngiyababuza umntana enze njani? Bathi abakwazi. And usisi lo ongiqhubela umntana umchentshile iphampa li fresh. Umntana umwipe face is smart. Ukuthi umntana vele bemchange. But umntana i-change iface brown. Umntana ladelele ngakhona kusho ukuthi umntana kudala nje into yenzakele. Okay ngiyabuza kwenzakaleni bathi abakwazi. Walingamfonelanga. Bakubona nje kuyinto nje easy for ebona. Okay so ngaphuma mphethe umntana ngescream ngabiza umama. Anza ngiphume even gate ngoba umama mkhona lapha next door. Mamphuma mthethe umntana abantu. Waphuma jump start wazi ngoba unesiphathi uhlala phandle wazi. Uthe mafika ethatha umntana nayo uyascream. Umntana ezinjani bathi abakwazi. Asithethe umntana velele. Umntana lokho egcoka impahla since ngichiye nazo ekseni. Amarumpo bebekubanda amarumpa namajezi yonke into. Ngabe umama aqala ukumkhumula ijezi from 1. Ijezi egcola ubisi.
Ga re bona gore ngwana o re tlabile wese nna ke a mo rwala ke mo isha doctor. Ke yo mo patalela.
We managed to talk to the creche owner, Mme Onika Kekana.
Ke nyaka go tseba gore go tla jwang gore SABC1 e tle intšie e publish from TV1 2 3 4 ka moka di channel gore ngwana khwetši mo go diaga so e sa tšwe ke ra di result e sene bonnete ba gore ngwana o bolaile ke nna polelo ka go gore SABC1 e tlile ka mo before e tsana ka mo gare ga motswaka e fothile motswaka e senge dumellana le nna ile ga ba tsana ka di camera ke ba stopile ka di camera mare because bona ba mo business ba tshwere di camera tse ba di fihlile because le ga ba senge ba ntšha sefatlhego ka ge ke ba botse gore a ke nyake go tswa TV because nna a go ne ngwana motho ke molaileng ka mogare ga jarataka se nna ke se emetše le tlantša diswantšho if the result di tswele but ba kgone go mfotha e senge ke dumellana le bona gore ba fothane le nna
Mina bengicela usizo ukuthi yazi linsize ukuthi ngithole imali yazi at least results kodwa kokuqala bengifuna postmortem ithi umntana ushone ngasikhathi bani isho ukuthi umntwana lo ushone ubulewe yini what if ukhale kakhulu ukhanye libisi isho ngoba angeke vele noma ngaphuma manje ngibelieve mina ngoba ithethe isikhathi amaphoyisa athi 4 months and now it's 7 months 8 months now.
Thamsanqa thought taking her baby to Thanganani would be more safer since it's closer to home.
Ngafunela kumntana basembona umntana sekhulile ukuthi at least ayicreche ngoba kuyabantu angekwazi ukutravela nomntana ekseni. So umama manje at least icreche ungabuhamisa kuye ngibona nami self ile.
Ka ngwaga o feta ka August e be le di 7 mme o tlile ka di 7 a tla khobela gore o khobela go tlisha ngwana crash o mo tlishetše e le Friday ga mo tlisha jaje la mathomo o mo tlishetše a mo tshwaretse setlhare sa gona a ke tsore ba se bitšeng ba re ke eng sona gore a ke tsore se ke rele doctor or clinic nna ya be le gore ga ba fa setlhare o re ba monoshe setlhare ba le ba just setlhare seo nnete ba shale le gore ba monosha ka mokgwa ba lejeng ka gona ka Saturday crash be se gona o tlishitše ngwana ka montlong a mo tlisha go morwedi aka a re a mshalele le yena nna ke be ke le off o ile go tlogela ngwano Rabeka ka ga boputse ngwana ntse a lalla a ba robala mo robadishe o ile ga tsoga ngwano ke ga alla ka be ke re o ko motlishe go khutšishe yena ngwana mare sello se sa ga Rabeka nna ge ke se theleditše a se sello sa gore ngwana wa alla ngwano o na le mo a kwa motlhoko but a sa kgone go bolela gore go botlhoko kae because ke ngwana o monyenyane ka be ke mo je ke mo gukelela ga ke mo guketse yana mola ga ntse ke mo tshwere ke mo lebella ebile ke re go wena ke re mo tlhobole kuwane a re no kuwane ba re a tlhobole because o na le tlhogwana Monday nna ke ile ga ke bua mmereko ke fitlhile ka dula ka montlo yena a mshowtsene ka ke tsore be le nako mo bo past 2 to 3 o ile ga tsena ke motho e leng gore wa sebele wa ka crash o lata ngwana ga a lata ngwana molao wa ka mo ngwana before a itswa ka gare ga crash re swantse re check ngwana pampers a re sepediše ngwana ka makaka or ka moroto ke ntho e re swantse re dia because re bone gore ga re ba tsamaiša re sa ba checka re ba robetse ba re fa problem go sa batswadi ba bua ba complaina ba re le tlišitše bana ka makaka gae jalo o sola e se kgale a robadišitše ngwanola ngwanola sentsa modielo lebetlelo a sa nga lenwa lebetlelo la gona le a modieje lona foro because ba tlhole ba mmoputse the whole day ngwano a ntše a lla ile ga e ba di afternoon ya be le gore o lapile o diang wa robala ga a robala ba ile ka mola ka moreng ba mo checka pampers ba mo wapeša pampers mtsa ba ja yele ebile o ba kakile ba ja pampers ba itšea ba go e latlha ba phuthela ngwana ba mo fa yena also a fileng mme ola ngwana a sa notice gore ngwanola o tlhokofetse because ngwana o ba fisha ga nka ba tonye nka ba bone gore mo go na le bothata wa ngwana wa tonye jale ngwana o ba fisha nna ke magala ga go liwa ka montle a kitima bua gating a re o mntwana mo shonele ga ke tswala ka ntle le nna ke ya go bona gore molato ke ga tlhana le kokwa ngwana ra sepela ra ka crash ka moka ra go bontšhana jwale ka batho ba bagolo gore na problem ke ga re fitlha re tšea ngwanola re ka ra le gore ngwana wa fisha re ra motsotsa ngwana o lepeletse fela class ya rena yona ya grade R ya bana ba ya sekolo e tshwereng ke teacher Lina.
How is the relationship between Thamsanqa and Thanganani Daycare after the incident?
Kamana rena go ba ngwana a bolokiwa e go sene probleme le mogekolo ka re yena a re bolediše magwana mogekolo ba re go nna re marabiše a ke re sa emetseng re emetse the result le nna re be re emetse the result o rata re go gore na probleme e tlile mo kae.
Are you about that trending life? The looking good and all that slayage? Well, fear not, because Trends has all the fashion do's and don'ts for you to stay on point this upcoming season.
This film will be an immersive spectacle. You got Kong that's 100 feet tall.
It tells this incredible story of man versus nature.
The iconic stage production by Mbongeni Ngema is back with a bang.
Sarafina is a classic South African production.
I always choose to align myself with brands that I just love. Because when you love something, it doesn't become work.
Luxury is not built overnight, but it's an experience that comes with time.
Catch up with all the trends on Trends Saturdays at 12.
President Jacob Zuma says that the country's security agencies will seek new and more effective ways to fight crime.
Crime, as you would appreciate, depends on the circumstances. This narrative that South Africans are xenophobic, we don't necessarily agree with it.
This group of Bangladeshi shop owners ooze frustration. They've lost everything.
I'm like totally destroyed. I can't see what I'll do, where I'll go.
Rescue workers are still searching for the body of a 5-year-old boy who fell into an old mine shaft near Boksburg in Ekurhuleni.
Tensions remain high with thousands of community members refusing to clear the scene until the boy is found.
Alexandra, a melting pot, with congested shacks and children playing on the street, while adults are unemployed and living in poverty. A similar incident happened at Sidiba Daycare in Alex, where a 3-month-old baby boy died. The parents are still waiting for the post-mortem.
Kali 27 ka kgwedi ya bo 7 ke khumane kholo o ja mo khumali wa ka mpoja gore ba mo foneji batho ba crèche ba re ngwana rena ka utre a phela a botse ka gore ke na le bana ba bedi ba ba yang crèche ne one. So ke ile ka re ga mfonela ba ke be ke setse ke chaisitse be le ka pela ke chaka bo one ke le gona mo ntlong ge mosadi o la mpoja ke re sepela ke ya kwa crèche. Ge ke fitla kwa crèche ke bula monyako wa mathomo ke gate ke lebana le class yo kana ngwana ka class ke tshepedi fela ke tshugile ga go le ge ke bona le gore class la o tsena ngwana ka o M10 mosadi mpuditse gore ba re ngwana re no mongwe a phela ga botse. Ge ke botsisa teacher yo ke tlhakaneng le yena a le mo spacing ke re bana ba ka ba kae a ba ke bona o mongwe ba bile ka class ne one one class ke tshepedi. Teacher la mfetola rena ke tlhokomele bana ba banyana ke tlhokomele di babies botsisa teacher o la tlhokomela bana ba banyana. Ge re ke re batamela teacher la tsena kwa classeng a tswalela a re emela mo crèche ke re ke bona re pleke go na le bothata o ka re ngwana ka o tlhokofetse ka mogo bana ba ba movileng ka pelone ge ke ke bula creela ke kena ga ba le bona ba paka koloi ka kwa ntle ka re ba ile go lata mosadi wa ka mo a berekang gona ko Edenvale. Ge ke fitlhe ga thola re ngwana ka o robetse o lebeletse geding a ba le bona ba tsena ke ge mosadi yola mo ne crèche a re shokane ke jere di bonang ke re ke kuka ngwanola ge ke mo kuka ge ke bona matsogo a le bjana ke re ke le ka go mo dira gore matsogo a be straight ka o tatile ene a se tša tonya.
The parents say the crèche should have called the ambulance when realizing that there is something wrong with the baby.
Asanke a fonele ambulance asanke a di nix o fonetse nna fela lo tse ka mka o di dile se rena re fitlhile.
So re le fihla le ho ditse gore ngwana ena o se mong se se jong.
Eish ngwana o ba le so a o mmile a tswaletse diatla ka mogwa tswaletse diatla le so a o mmile go bontsha gore ngwana ke gala a tlhokofetse. Bana ba re ba tlhakatlhakane ba satse gore bana ba di ka re go a swana ka re ga ke ba botsa ke re go a swana nna le mfounela ke tlo diang ka ba nna a ke tsebe selo ka ngwana ga a tlhokofetse le founetse ba ambulance na a ba founela motho
ba mo isa ba re o jisitse ngwana ka nako mang a re ke jisitse ngwana ka 9 ba mo jisa ba re wa dira jo dira and then wa mo checka gape ka nako mang wa botsa re ka 1 so ke ile ka utwa botlhoko ge ke utwa mosadi mangwana ka re ke a tseba gore ba ka se re bana ba ka se tse ngwana ba ra tlhokomele bana bo tša mosadi wa nong le ngwana a tsebang ka ngwana go ra tlhokomele ngwana.
We tried to speak to the crèche owner to hear her side of the story, but she refused. And we couldn't establish if Sidiba Daycare is registered. The family is still devastated, and they want the post-mortem of their baby to be released.
Kile ka kwa botlhoko kudu ka bana ngwana ka ba sa lwale. O ba sa lwale le bošego ba o robetse ga botse mo loreng ke tla rolile bošego mo loreng me bo kwa something pain a senke a kwa nix le monya crèche go seng ge ke mo isa kwa o tsanela matsogo a gage le yena wa dumela gore ngwana tlile a le right ngwana ka ba sna bothata ntho a mathomo ke nyoko tseba di result gore ngwana o ra tlhokofala bothata keng be se ke isa go maphodisa ba bona ba tla tšea sephetho ge nna ke kole di result gobane go a ka nna ke bone gore ngwana ola o no tlhokofala vela nje there is something wrong. Maphodisa ba botsa papa ngwana gore tshwantse gore a emele 10 years re tla ba re le kae rena 10 years
postmortem center after
20 ba ba TV ba malo ba ba boditse gore 10 years ba ba phone tse rena le bona
no we just 2 years
so na bona gore mo a ke gone go shore go tsamaya
nna ke be ke no gopela le di results tša ngwana ka di boy le nna ke gone go tseba re ngwana ka ka re yo mongwe le mongwe ga sepela mo lefatsheng re a tseba re go na le ntho e ba ngwalang gore motho yo o shwele bjane bjale le gona bjale e sa le under investigation 20 years ge nka tlhokofala after 10 years gore a re ke tlo tlhokofala ka pelo ya botlhoko ke sa tsebe ntho ile go ya ja ngwanaka.
After the break, we speak to the authorities.
As a transgender activist, do you feel welcome? Are you free here in South Africa?
In South Africa, we think that 1994 just took an eraser and erased a lot of the issues of apartheid.
What is the difference between you and me?
You know, a person can easily say we're all human, but we need to embrace our differences.
The fact that it is called a gay club, why are other clubs not called other things?
It's a safety thing, you know. By virtue of actually speaking about this incident, brings about the question of why do you even need a club that needs to be called a gay club? I cannot walk into a club with my lover, my male lover. I cannot walk into Taboo, a South African club, and just hold my lover and we kiss, and then people think it's okay.
They do that?
Well, we do, but then there have been instances of actually people, bouncers walking in and actually telling you to stop or get out of the club.
Do you think it was a mistake that you were born a boy?
I've come to, not to peace with my body, but I've accepted myself where I am completely.
Somebody may say you are lying, because if you have accepted yourself completely as you are, you would be the boy that your mom gave birth to.
I can self-actualize. I can become what I want to be at the end of the day.
We spoke to Captain K. Makobela of the SAPS to find out about the progress of these two cases.
The case of Alexander, which is similar to the one of Deep Sleuth, where a 3-month-old baby was also reported dead by the family after they were called to the clinic, as the baby was seen coming out the white things from the nose, and they took the child to the clinic where the child was certified dead. And the family felt that a case have to be opened and be investigated on how the child might have died, because they know that their child, when they brought the child at the crèche, he was healthy. But so far, the case has been opened as an inquest, and we are still investigating, and also we are waiting for the post-mortem report, which we don't know when it's going to come out. But the case is still on, and we will be continuing with our investigation.
What could be the reason for the post-mortem to take so long?
It depends on the circumstances of the death, and the pathologist, they know what to do when they do some investigation in terms of the death of a person who they want to find out what might be the cause. Sometimes, you know, a person can die with natural cause, which cannot take long, as compared to when somebody died with a poison, which take long. So it depends on how and what is the exactly thing which caused that particular death. So it can take long, it can be quick. So it depends on their investigation.
What happens to daycares where children die as a result of negligence?
From our side as Department of Social Development, we will assess the program. Municipality will be brought on board to assess their infrastructure. Because for a program to be registered, municipality needs to give an environmental health certificate, which will say the infrastructure is such that it is safe to be used for the ECD program. Other interventions will include rendering psychosocial support to the bereaved family or to the family of the injured child. Also debriefing to the practitioners themselves if there's instances of death.
During our shooting of the story, the post-mortem for the Diepsloot case was released.
Well, since then, we have been waiting for the post-mortem, and the post-mortem came back on the 20th of this month. We got the report from the pathologist, which indicated that the cause of death of the baby was natural. So that is how far we are with the investigation now. But the inquest case is still on, and we are still investigating. It will be taken to court for decision.
Nurseries seem to be mushrooming everywhere, and we don't know if the practitioners get proper training.
The practitioners do get training. For them to be in ECD, they have to have a qualification which is at NQ level 1 to 4. So they do have qualification in that regard, but also as a department we do have capacity building sessions with the practitioners and the principal or the owners also in terms of what is expected of them in terms of the act and how are they supposed to operate the ECD in such that it is meeting the norms and standards.
Le fase le ruleng la South Africa le ke corruption fela. Ko re ntho sa tshwana gore o tlo o be o ye TV ne gore ba go thushe gore e tswelele o tshwanetse ye TV ke be ke sa tshwana ke ile TV go nyaka di results tsa ngwanaka ntwe simple a nyaka tšhelete ntwe bona bele because a ke na tšhelete ya diloyara ke tshwanetse ke TV ne gore ke kgone go khumana thusho maybe go na le ya tang thusha di results tsa ngwanaka di boya fela a ke le motho.
Brought to you by SABC News, Africa's news leader.